Hey everyone, happy Saturday. So I'm going to share real quick before my phone overheats and dies on me that in this season, for whatever it is you're working on, whatever it is that you're praying to see God bring to fruition, whatever you are building, whatever you are designing, creating, or whatever new venture you're finding yourself pursuing. So even if that's whether that's opening a business or whether that is simply taking on something new or moving into a different industry or whatever it may be, you're gonna have to do things a little bit differently than the way everybody else is doing, and that's gonna frustrate you because there is nothing like trying to do something and seeing everybody around you being successful and feeling like you are trying to do the same thing but don't know how to make it work. But we have to remember that we are in the world and not of it. And what that means is that there are going to be a lot of times in this life that we have to do things differently than the way the world is doing it, because God does not operate the way the world operates, which is something we already know. We know that God's ways and thoughts are higher than our own. And so because we know that, we have to trust that if he's leading us to do something in a way that's different than what the world is doing or how everyone else is accomplishing it, that's because he has a plan and a purpose for your life that the world don't know nothing about. He is working on something that has a far heavier weight in glory and a far more a greater reach than just what the world is capable of accomplishing through their methods and through the way they're doing it. So I'm saying that to encourage you guys, because a lot of what I feel like God is telling me to do right now as I'm building, it doesn't make sense. And I'm like, God, I hear you and I trust you, but I just want to express the fact that I feel a little weird because I'm trying to kind of get over here, but the way that you're having me do this is almost gonna kind of take me backwards instead of forward. And the thing that I feel like God just keeps doing is confirming for me along the way that I'm on the right path, and that if I just continue to do it his way, that everything is going to work out exactly the way it needs to. And in fact, better than I think it's going to work out, because again, I don't know God's ways. His ways are higher than mine. His thoughts are higher than mine. He knows my whole life from beginning to end, and I don't. So I want to encourage you that if God is telling you to do something and it doesn't make sense to you, do it. If you feel like you're going backward instead of forward, do it. If you feel like it's counterproductive, do it. Because God already has the answers to what you're trying to figure out, and he's got the coordinates for where he's trying to take you. Notice I said where he's trying to take you, not where you're trying to take yourself. Because sometimes we start out on a mission thinking that's the plan and purpose of God for our lives, and in reality, it's just our plan. And we know the Bible says that many are the plans in the heart of man, but God's plan is what ultimately is going to come to pass and what's going to prevail. And so while we're planning, and I want to say there's nothing wrong with planning, because we have to plan to get things done. But what I'm saying is, don't let your plan be so concrete that you're not submitted to God's. And so if he's telling you to do something a certain way, it don't matter. It don't have to make sense to you. Like the old folks say, you in grown folks. What? You in grown folks business. So if God is telling you to do something, you're going to feel how you feel. You're going to have questions. There are so many examples in the Bible of people who did ask God questions, not because they were questioning his ability to be God, but because as humans, we have a problem when we don't know and don't understand. And so there's nothing wrong with seeking God and asking questions for clarity and understanding, because he's a good and gracious father. He's not a mean father. He's patient, he's kind with us, and he understands our nature. He created us. Hebrews says that we don't have a high priest who doesn't understand us, who has not been touched with the feelings of our infirmities and afflictions. And what that means is that Jesus lived his life as a human being for 33 years. So we have a Savior who is able to petition for us and able to stand in the gap for us, because he knows how we feel. He knows what we're experiencing because he's experienced those same things. And I'm sure that confusion at times, meaning just that the desire for clarity, was one of those things. You know, that's a human feeling. But know that in the end, wherever God is taking you, his way is going to be the best way to get there. So I just want to share that, as there are many days where I'm just sitting back like, God, what we doing? What we doing? And it's not that I'm not doing it. It's just that I'm like, Lord, I don't understand, but I'm going to do it because I trust you. And I know, and I have had enough experience with you in my life to know that whatever you're saying to do, that's going to be the best thing for me to do. And like I said, he will give you little confirmations along the way to help. God knows that we wonder. He knows that we want to understand and know. So he will give you little confirmations along the way that are showing you like, okay, I'm in there. You know, same thing he's doing for me. Yesterday I got like 4 little confirmations. So even though I felt like I was kind of confused and it was counterproductive what I'm doing, it's what he's telling me to do. It's the foundation that he is leading me to lay, because at the right moment, it's going to go where it needs to go. But in the meantime, he's having me patiently, lay the foundation, and he's giving me these little nods of like, see, I'm taking you somewhere. You don't have to have all the pieces. You ain't got to have connect all the dots, but just know that I'm showing you that there's a reason and I have a plan, and that it's working for your good and my perfect will and purpose for your life. And that's really all you need to know. And so this goes back to what I was talking about the other day when I was talking about trusting God and knowing that he has your best interest in heart. And the amazing thing about God is that his best for you is better than what you could ever even imagine yourself. And him having your best interest in mind is that best, and it's going to blow your mind, because you never would have seen it coming. You never could have imagined it. You never would have even thought it for yourself. So I just wanted to encourage y'all as I'm in this traffic, because these folks are up here for this eclipse. Listen to me, y'all. The state of Texas is in a frenzy right now, because we are in the, what do they call it? The direct whatever, or the complete whatever of this eclipse. Total path of darkness or whatever. And so people have lost their minds and decided that they were going to travel up here for this 4 minutes of this eclipse that's going to happen on Monday. I get it. The blessing is I live here. So to all the people that decided to bring they behinds up here this weekend, sell out hotels, bury our streets in traffic, please go home. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that, y'all. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later.